Hey guys, and welcome to the latest episode of Car Check. We're back in Immendingen with the all-new Mercedes-AMG GT 63 4MATIC Plus.
Oh my.
So the GT predecessor has been my all-time favorite AMG. So I'm really looking forward to taking this brand new Mercedes-AMG GT 63 for my first laps around Immendingen today. And we have Matthias here, our product manager, who'll be able to answer all our questions.
Hi Mauro.
So what's your overall highlight for this car?
What I like especially about this one is the combination of performance and everyday usability, so the comfort of the car.
Talking about everyday comfort, we asked you, the private lounge community, to send in your question and comments again. And first question is, do we fit a set of golf clubs in the rear boot or trunk, as some people call it? I actually have a set with me, so we can try that later when it stops raining. But Matthias?
Actually, yeah, 2 golf sets fit into the trunk in the base model already. But you can take the option, the 2+2 seating, and then you can fold down the rear seats. And with this option, you've got up to 675 liters of trunk space, and you can get even a bicycle into the car if you take out the front wheel.
Okay, that's awesome. I mean, I personally like to golf and cycle, so that definitely ticks 2 boxes for me.
Yeah, it's a cool function, especially also the rear seats. With the rear seats, you can put people up to 1.50 meters into the car. So it's not only for your kids, it's also for the small people.
Well, like fathers like myself, and I know my daughter enjoys fast AMG cars, so definitely a nice one, yeah. So my first impression is, it feels like I'm sitting higher.
Actually, you are sitting higher and also a little bit more to the front compared to the predecessor.
Yeah, the car feels more nimble, smaller in front of me. I have more overview.
Yeah, actually the front is a little bit shorter than the old one due to our new proportions that we have in the car. So you can see much better out of the car. So we've got a better all around view. It helps also getting more daily usability.
Definitely, I definitely see more and feel like I can see more of the limits of the car.
Right, yeah.
Right, let's test the driving experience.
Yeah, pedal to the metal.
Great sound, great power, but I mean, that's to be expected. See the brakes, yeah, okay, good deceleration here in the wet, and turn-in is really good. It's very direct and very little body roll. Body's almost not moving.
Exactly, yeah, that's due to our new AMG Active Ride Control System, which uses the kinetic energy of the car by stabilizing the car in the curve so that you don't have so much roll. And we do not have any mechanical anti-roll stabilization anymore. We've got the dampers that take off on this function actually.
You can feel, I mean, here, like, you know, long tight corner, and when I tighten the steering a little bit, obviously traction is great with the four-wheel drive, but you can really feel the front reacting and no movement in the body roll. So that's really nice, very, very precise.
Yeah, and actually the movement also depends on the driving program that you're in. And we're now in race mode, and this is the least roll that you can have in the car, so it's really very stable.
Wow, the traction is amazing. Braking. I'm noticing the rear wing is constantly adjusting, going up and down.
Exactly, yeah, that's the active rear wing. Depending on the driving program and the speed, it comes out at different speeds. It helps to gain the performance, but at the same time also we've got also very low drag, so it reduces the fuel consumption as well.
If you guys want to learn more about aerodynamics, check out the latest Inside AMG episode and take a deep dive into the world of aerodynamics with some cool features from this car. Coming to the next question of our community, the question is why it was decided to add the rear seats and the larger trunk space and how that impacts performance.
Okay, actually we asked our customers that drove the old AMG GT, and they asked for 2+2 seating that they can put their kids into the car, as well as a larger boot or trunk space. Regarding the performance, that doesn't affect the performance at all. It even helps to get a more stable ride, especially on the straight and on the higher speeds, because we've got a longer wheelbase.
Makes total sense, absolutely. Longer wheelbase, obviously in fast corners and at high speeds, it helps with stability. Coming to our next question. So while I understand the platform is shared with the recent SL, why did you go away from rear-wheel drive and transaxle transmission, which were both delivering true driving experience in the previous generation GT model?
So first of all, due to the fact that we moved the transmission to the front, we get a lot of more space in the luggage compartment. But at the same time, our 4MATIC Plus system is a fully variable all-wheel drive system. So it usually runs 100% on the rear axle and can distribute up to 50% of the torque to the front wheels.
When it loses traction on the rear.
Especially when it loses traction, exactly. But also depending on the driving situation that you're in, and also depending on the driving mode, actually. So this gives not only more performance, for instance, from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, we're faster than the old one. We're in 3.2 seconds, reach the 100 kilometers per hour from a still stand. So it not only gains performance, it also gives you more driving stability and safety. So more daily usability in the end.
That explains why the traction was so good. I mean, on a day like today where it's wet and slippery, the traction was incredible out of the corners.
For the people who still want to have the feeling of the old AMG GT, we've got one function in this car, and this is the drift mode. So this engages the front axle, so the car really runs only 100% on the rear axle.
So that's the mode that puts a smile on your face.
Exactly, you're not faster, but in the end you've got much more fun, yeah.
All right, so let's try the drift mode. Going to race mode, manual, ESP off, pull both paddles and confirm with the right hand paddle, and then you'll find yourself in drift mode. So let's shift down to second gear here and give it a try. Here. There we go. All right.
That's a lot of fun.
A lot of power and very direct on the rear. It's yeah, big smile. All right, coming back to our first question, let's go and grab a golf bag and find out if we can put it in the trunk.
Let's try it out. So now you've got no free hand. This is why we have the hands-free access function.
All right, let's see and find out. It fits. Coming to our final question, the question was, I would ask Mauro how this GT compares to its predecessor, the previous generation GT, and how has it been improved? So for me, I have to say, I was very impressed with the cornering ability. As we talked about, very little roll, body movement, very direct steering. So I would say it's at least as good in the cornering ability as its predecessor, with the added space, obviously space in the trunk and the two seats, which for me as a father is definitely a benefit. And then what probably impressed me most, I would say, is the traction out of the corners. Even on a wet and rainy day like today, slippery conditions, the traction was incredible. The tires were really digging into the tarmac and we're not losing any traction out of the corner. So that was definitely an improvement and impressive. And maybe a little bit unexpected, I also really like the sound. In my opinion, the sound is another step up. It's definitely AMG, better than its predecessor, I would say. Obviously that's for everyone to decide themselves, but for me, I was very impressed. So Matthias, we had a rainy but fun day. Thanks so much for all your insights.
Thank you for having me.
And to you guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to join the private lounge for exclusive product insights and to submit your questions for the next car checks. Hit the like button below and leave your comments for any further questions. See you next time.